Good day guys, Oster, and in this one today, we're taking a close look at Switch emulation. Now I covered this some time back, but it was up to the kind of standard where, yeah, it's proof of concept, but games weren't actually playable. Now we're up to the kind of level I hear where games are playable, and as we'll see in this video today, it's come on leaps and bounds. In the last 3 weeks, we've seen API progress coming in and blowing the doors off the 3D rendering. Now that was its biggest Achilles heel up to now. It hasn't been able to play 3D games to the full kind of standard, and with Mario Odyssey on the fringe, it's now about time. So as you'll see, we are getting in game, we are being able to play it, but not to the kind of standard that will compete with the actual Switch. And so it shouldn't. I mean, at the end of the day, for me, I will not emulate anything that I do not own. If I don't have it, then I don't play it. So I'm not saying everybody else should go down the same route, I'm just saying my viewpoint. So by no means is this good to go at this current stage, but like I said, the last 3 weeks have been absolutely outstanding. So I can see this progressing further. What I just don't want to happen in this scene is this becomes what Senmu did. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but everybody focused on one game, Zelda Breath of the Wild. I want this to kind of cover all games, and I hope in the future to cover as many games as possible as soon as I get them in. Put in the comments down below what games you would like me to feature in future videos, but for now, I want to cover a couple of the games that I've managed to get, download, dump, and get on to this emulator. So without further ado, let's see what progress this emulator has made. So before we start the video, I've got to say, if you're prone to any seizures or anything like that, it's best not to watch. There is quite a lot of graphical glitches and stuff that goes on with some of these tests, and it may trigger something that happens medically. I'm not good with all that kind of stuff, but if you're prone to it, then don't watch. Also, I'm going to start with what I think will be the more compatible games, and I'm going to be testing these in real time, so you guys see exactly what I see for the first time. So, hey, let's get stuck in. Okay then, so first up we've got Sonic Mania Plus. Now, I've got my little artifacts on the left hand side of the screen. That's not in the emulator, that's me, so I can see what kind of progress this is making. And so far, so bloody good, look at that. We are straight into Sonic Mania. We've got 60 frames per second, it's hardly taxing my system. And to be honest, we are good to go. Is my controllers working? Yes, they are. So that's pretty good. We are quids in. All the artifacts on the screen seem to be rendered. The last time I tested this game, it was months ago, to be honest. It must be about 6 months. And at that point, we were going in-game, although the actual gameplay was something like 10 frames per second. Now, I'm seeing all the screens. This is good. This is damn good. So there is some stutters here and there. It's to be expected. It's the first time I loaded it up. And the controller is working. That's amazing for a start. Also, the frame per second is as steady as Eddie. Look at that. So let's see if I can complete the level. Blip through here. There is no drops whatsoever. Constant frame rate, no screen tearing. I've got pretty much everything on default on the emulator. I am running this at 720p at this moment in time, which is, well, to be honest, it's expected. I probably could push this up to 1080, to be honest, from the looks of it, no problem whatsoever, but at the end of the day, it's a 2D rendered game, and that's what's probably allowing this to play so well, because it is on the 2D kind of API, I suppose you get it. We're not taking full advantage of the 3D artifacts. That's where I think this will struggle, and once we get into those kind of tests, I'm sure we will see a lot of glitches, a lot of speed decreasing. But anyway, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. We're pretty good so far. Jesus, it's been months since I've even played this game. In fact, I think the last time I played this game was actually testing it out on this emulator. Oh my god. I can't even get in there. There we go. Quids in. This is so much longer than the standard Green Hill Zone. Come on, Doc. So I've got to say that this is fully playable, albeit expected. I mean, you can get this on pretty much every other platform out there. Oh, where's my ring? So it's not exactly going to tax it, but it's a good starting point for us to do our tests, to be honest. We'll know that it's, well, basically running perfect because we can already play it. Come on, Donna Robotnik. There we go. So let's see if the actual end of the level transitions in, and then I will say that this is pretty much good to go. I've not seen any glitches on the screen whatsoever at this moment. Are we good? Are we good? There we go. Yeah, that is pretty awesome, to be honest. I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting some graphical glitches, some artifacts missing on the screen, all that kind of stuff. I will say that this one is good to go. So let's move on to the next. Next up, we've got Super Bomberman R. Now, I've got no idea how well this will run, but you're in with the show just as me. So let's see what's going on. So far, we are seeing some crazy artifacts and frame rates on the screen. This seems to be alright in the menu. Let's go through to a game. Let's go into just multiplayer. Yeah, whatever. Let's just get in game. Okay, some crazy glitches so far. Can I select any of these? It looks like the rendering isn't doing too well on this. Let's go on Labyrinth. Choose whoever. Come on, let's get into game, for God's sake. And here we are. We are in. Yes, in like Flynn. Okay, so some artifacts on the screen. Oh, I've just killed myself straight away as well. So some artifacts on the screen obviously aren't rendering. I can't see where I'm supposed to be going because basically the walls aren't being rendered. But the game is booting up. It is going in game, but as you can see, it's unplayable. So yeah, I'm going to class this as not really working. Okay, so here we are, the creme de la creme, the holy grail of what will be, more than likely, this emulator, Super Mario Odyssey. So far, so good. I am seeing some glitches on the screen and stuff. Okay, we are in. We are missing artifacts on the screen. This is the first time I've booted it up, so I've got no idea how this will cope. I've got no idea if it will crash. We are seeing frames per second, 25, 32. They're dropping, they're going in. I am hearing crackled sound, so there is something going on. Come on, make it in there. Make it in. So again, all the default settings are on this emulator. The only thing I've configured is the name of my profile, and also I've done my controllers, but that is about it. And here we go, we are in. Yes, so as you can see, it's a bit of a mess. The graphics aren't being rendered properly, although I am seeing some good speeds, better than what I was expecting. We are getting up to a kind of, I don't know, visible rate there. This is just the intro cutscene, so yeah, it is being rendered through the graphics though. It's not an FMV or a movie video, it is actually in game, so it is pretty good progress. Now I hear that they are releasing another build later on today, so that one is supposed to have even more improvements in terms of the API and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, if this is what they've got in a matter of, what, a month since I started following the progress again? That's awesome news, really is. So the graphics are being rendered. We are running, what, 30 frames per second? There is quite a lot of glitches on the screen, obviously, look at the state of it. But again, it's a long journey developing an emulator. The main thing is cracking that 3D API for this. Once they've got that down, then the graphics will be rendered much better. But as you can see, the 3D artifacts and the 3D rendering has come on leaps and bounds. Just think, a month ago, this wasn't even possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to dump my save game and see if we can get into some actual action. So let's go there.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so I've put in my save game. We are good to go. And hopefully we can now get in game. I could have let it run, but it would have been here forever getting through all those cutscenes at the start. So now hopefully we can now jump straight into the action. Hopefully this will load up and it will render okay. Come on, may the gods of emulation be with you. Okay, so we are in. We're now rocking round in Super Mario Odyssey. Nintendo in your face. So we're running very slow. We're running 8 frames per second, 10 frames per second, 12. It is increasing as we're going through. I have got full use of my controller. I bet if I went into the settings and tweaked around a bit, I could make this run faster. As of yet, again, everything is just completely left to stock. It's just proof of concept right now, just to see if it's actually getting in game and how well it's doing it. And right now, I'm happy with this. This is cool. This is really cool. Hats off to the Yuzu team for getting this far on here. And it looks like... No, I thought I crashed, but no, we're straight back in. This is awesome. It's great that I can actually do this in real time with you guys, so I'm actually testing out as I'm seeing this emulator come through its lifespan. Again, this is such early days. Do not expect anything to be, well, especially a game like this. Yeah, I'm expecting leaps and bounds to come through as they are actively developing like I've never seen before. And I would think that this, unfortunately, it's a good thing and a bad thing, but I do think that this is now going to become the Zemu of Yuzu. I think that there's going to be videos put up every time we've got an extra pixel on Mario's face or something. And it's a good thing because, you know, progress and following development is absolutely awesome. But it's going to be all about getting this running. Now, I think all games should have, you know, as much coverage as possible. I want to get a fully fledged working emulator, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting progress. Yeah, I want to see Super Mario Odyssey running 100 frames per second. Well, 60, let's put it that way. But it would be great if all games got that kind of progress. And I would say that Zemu, much of the development, much of the progress is all aimed towards Zelda. I know that people may brush upon it and people may put that to one side and say, no, it's all. But let's face it, all the coverage goes towards Zelda, and I can see this one going this way with Super Mario Odyssey. Now, I can't wait to get this working, to be honest. So I'm on that bandwagon too. I'm not gonna put my bones against it, but being able to play this little Switch game on full screen, giving full rendering, hopefully soon, hopefully one day at, you know, 4K, getting all the enhancements that you can get from emulation, including, as we've seen with Zelda, switching out sprites, modifications to the game, all that kind of good stuff to bring longevity to the game and to bring wonders to what can be done with gaming in general. That's the way it goes. That's the way emulation is. So there we go, guys. That is 3 games tested, booted, and playable on the Nintendo Switch. I have only just tested these 3 games. It's basically the ones that I could dump at this short notice. I've only just got the Switch myself. Many of the titles that I did buy, I haven't even loaded properly on the Switch itself. I'm just waiting for everything to install, update, download, dump, and all that kind of stuff. It's taking me ages to figure out how the hell you actually custom firmware these things. But it's been an absolute pleasure bringing this to you. Remember, this is a long journey. This is by no means a feasible way at this point, and of course probably in the near future, to play these games other than on your Nintendo Switch console. Emulation is a very long journey, and it will take a very long time for us to get to that kind of standard. Right now, if you want to play these, you're going to need a supercomputer, and you're going to need a Switch, and you're going to need all the rest of the bells and whistles, including time, to get to the standard where it will be a feasible option for you to play these and actually enjoy them. But we are here for the journey, so that probably in 5-10 years time we can actually class this as a fully working emulator that can be played on pretty much standard PCs that don't cost 3 times the price of a Nintendo Switch. But it's been an absolute pleasure bringing this to you, so please like, please subscribe, please do all the magical things in this wonderful world where we see the evolution of Nintendo Switch emulators from hopefully start to finish. But most of all, you guys have a good day. Laters!